Hello students, I wanted to touch base with you today about our activities this week with the Darwin Lab. First, let me point you to our course homepage. As I've written here, I've changed it so that you see our wiki as the homepage for the course. That means you're going to have to work a little harder to access the announcements, which will be more about housekeeping. So take a look, make sure you access the announcements via the link on the left. And one final note here, this has been a change in the course since last semester, but I haven't gotten any feedback about it, so please interact with me in the classroom discussion forum. Tell me what you like and what you don't like. Now let's head over into our current module. So in Module 3 this week, you'll see that all of our activities are wrapped up together. We'll be talking about the Darwin activity, writing about it, and collecting the research. So let's head over into the discussion. Okay, so this week we'll be addressing topics that might be sensitive for folks, but we're going to put our science caps on and we are going to look at it with evidence-based approach. So the first thing you'll want to do is download this Word document that describes the activity. Okay, here's some videos, these are in the classroom as well, that will get you warmed up to what we're going to be working with this week. The last video here, Peter, Rosemary, Grant, that's a doozy. It's a very long lecture. However, I wanted you to have the knowledge of their research. It is the largest evidence of evolution that we have. Their record is over 30 years long, measurement based. Every other year they take students, as I understand it, and the alternating year they just conduct research by themselves. A lot of these islands that we're going to be talking about are not accessible. They are extremely difficult to get onto, and they're not open to the public. So the only people who go there really are researchers. I would like you to engage with this study guide information. Please fill this out as you're reading. Keep yourself focused on the primary learning outcomes. And then we'll be using the Cornell Laboratory to collect evidence about the finches on the Galapagos Islands. So for each bird, you're going to want to collect this data. The list of birds are down here. So I recommend you select a name, Control C, copy it, and then we'll head over here to the Cornell Lab of Ornithology and Control V, paste the name right there, the Latin name, go, and you'll arrive at these interpretive pages that give you lots of information about the biology of these finches. And I want you to consider, how is it that very similar species can live in the same environment? How is it that they all can find the resources they need to survive? And I want you to focus in your mind about the concept of niche exploitation. Okay, how are they exploiting the niche in slightly different ways to make survival for all possible? And what are the conditions that lead to extinction? How is it that some do not survive? Now, concurrently, we will be looking at a different approach, National Geographic article, okay? This is a lovely web-based resource. There's amazing photos and a very thought-provoking article about the nature of Darwin's evidence that he collected. So after you read the article, or before, I highly recommend that you go through these interactive images about how the story was written and how the photographs were collected. And I want you to keep in mind that images and journal entries and sketches, they are a form of evidence. That might not be a biological measurement, but as I'm learning, getting my PhD in education, that there is a whole world of evidence that is related to historical documentation like this. So you should have a great time perusing this slideshow, and I recommend you invite your family to do it with you. So coming back here to the list of species, here they are. And then the next page of this Darwin activity worksheet is where you'll work to collect your data and categorize it. Okay, so you want to think about, again, ecology. How do organisms interact with their environment? Another framework you can keep in your mind is food, water, shelter. How do the species obtain those things? And the competitive exclusion principle specifies that it would be impossible for two different species to obtain the same food, water, or shelter from the same habitat at the same time. So please think about, how are they making this work, this amazing level of diversity with near species. Post your comments in the discussion board, and just try to do that as soon as you can. Don't worry about today's deadline. I want to provide you with this guidance that you need and not stress you out. And then you will come in here and you will submit the Word document, and you can write your essay right at the end of that Word document. You don't need to submit 2 documents. And obviously there won't really be any pictures here, but you can lift copy images from the Cornell Ornithology Lab if you'd like, and put those in your lab too. So we'll go here, and you will submit that compiled document here just as normal, just as you would with a lab that was based in the lab pack. So thanks. Let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to talking to you this week.